What's going on, everyone? I'm Andrew, I'm a music producer from Kingston, Ontario, Canada, and this is honestly something that I never thought that I'd be making. I haven't released music since 2019, and for years I keep telling myself I'd wait till I'm, feeling creative, feeling inspired and motivated, but never really following through with that. This year's Spotify Wrapped that I got really gave me a reality check. Because even after disappearing for 6 years, people in 13 different countries still listen to my music. And that kind of forced me to face the truth. I never stopped being a producer. I just stopped showing up as one, I guess you could say. So in this video, I want to talk about what really happened to me, why I fell off, and more importantly, what's changing from this point forward. So what happened after 2019? I released a song called Keep the Party Dancing near the end of 2018 going into 2019. Was really happy with how that song performed. I think I charted top 20 on Beatport, which was huge, and I really appreciated all the support that I got on it. And I took a little bit of a break after that. I tended to do that when I was releasing more frequently. I would take a few weeks off and then get back to it just so I wouldn't feel burnt out or anything. But that kind of led to laziness. And then as well, that also led into the time when COVID started. And here in Canada, we had 2 lockdowns kind of like back to back. And it was kind of a bad time for me, not necessarily in the terms of mental health. I mean, I think everybody's mental health kind of took a dip with the lockdowns and everything, but more so with my creativity. Because even during COVID, I would still open Ableton up and I tried to work on a couple ideas on what I want to, on the stuff that I wanted to make and not really getting anywhere, getting pissed off at myself really quickly. Like, why aren't I making amazing ideas like I was before? These are all crap. And then rage quitting Ableton and then going and playing video games for the rest of the day, trying again the next day. Same thing happening, repeat, until one day I just stopped opening up Ableton, just went right downstairs and started playing PlayStation. And thus started a lazy cycle for me. And that was a big thing for me too, leading up to now. I would get into these lazy cycles and it's very frustrating because I know that I'm being lazy, and maybe you feel the same way too, when you know that you're feeling lazy and you know that it's only on you to snap out of it and to start doing stuff. But it's also super comfortable just to go back and doom scroll on TikToks, Instagram Reels, maybe you're on Reddit, whatever you're doing. And it's so addicting just to go back on that, and then boom, another hour passes, another hour passes, and then another hour passes. And then that little spark in your brain that you had, it's like, come on, let's get up, let's open Ableton, or let's go for a walk, let's go get a workout in. It goes away super quick the second that you dive back into that. And that was a really big thing for me. And that kind of continued on up until this past summer. This past summer, I heard, it was more into the spring going into the summer, is when I heard The Weeknd's new album. And the first song, Wake Me Up, instantly hit me, and I fell in love with it. The vocal was amazing. I loved it. I was like, this needs an Afro House remix. It's screaming for it, and the people need it, and I'm going to give it to them. So I got the vocal. I started working creatively on it. The ideas were flowing. Everything was great. It felt so good to get back into Ableton. It felt like, honestly, I'll be honest, I did miss a few steps. I did, from not getting those reps in, I definitely lost some steps in terms of like what to do here, what to do there. I had to go back and reread some notes or rewatch some videos just to remind myself on how to do some things, because that's what happens after you walk away for a little bit. But it was feeling great, and everybody that I was showing the remix to was like super positive about it. They were super amped. They loved it. They thought it was working out super well. And then I unfortunately got hit with another speed bump. I fully tore my bicep. And as somebody that's very big into fitness as well outside of music, I love working out, I love hitting the gym, love getting the lift in. This was really big for me because I did use the gym as kind of a de-stressor in the day before coming home. And at the time when I was really into music, again, working on this remix, I would, work out, come home, shower, eat, and then boom, I was in Ableton working on this remix. But now I couldn't. I had to wait to get my surgery done. And even after surgery, I had to sit around for 3 weeks in a cast and whatever. I got a couple pictures here. And for 3 weeks, I had to sit on my couch and, not do anything. I could walk, I could use my right hand, couldn't use my left hand because it was all in a splint and cast. And then I got put into a restrictive brace for a little bit. And the laziness came back. And that was a big thing for me. I had the remix done. I just couldn't for the life of me get up to do what I'm doing now and sit in front of the camera and make content to start pushing it out. And that kind of killed me. And we get, we'll fast forward again. It's now December. I realized that I haven't put out music now for 6 years. It's officially 6 years now since it's actually 7. Wow. It's actually 7 that I haven't put out music. And Spotify, obviously, as they do around this time of year, every year, puts out Wrapped. I knew that mine was going to be horrible because obviously I haven't put out music. And I see all of my friends posting theirs, and they have the numbers gained from last year to this year is amazing, and all the shows that they're playing and the numbers that they're getting is quite honestly amazing. And I am always so proud. I will be the first one to say I'm always so proud of all of my friends doing well in this industry. I know that some people will see their friends or other people in the industry post their numbers and get a little bit jealous per se. You have the moments where you compare, but you shouldn't, because you can't compare. As my mentors say, you should never compare your step 1 to 2 to somebody's 7 and 8. And obviously, as we all know, comparison is the thief of joy. And once you compare somebody's life to your own, you don't know what path they're on. You don't know how long they've been working on this, how many hours they put in. Only thing you can focus on is yourself and how you're showing up when it comes to making music or whatever you're doing in life. So never try to compare yourself, even though I understand, especially in this day and age when everything's put out on Instagram as a highlight reel, it is very hard not to. So I go and I open up my Spotify, and I know that my numbers, like I said, are going to be horrible. But then I saw the 13 different countries, and that blew my mind. It sparked the idea of rebuilding, because even though I might have only got 34 streams, I only had 23 listeners, I still had 13 different countries listening to my music. And that was amazing. So going forward, some things I'm going to focus on when it comes to this rebuild is consistency over perfection, quantity over quality for now. That's always a big thing, getting back into music. Finished is better than perfect. That's also another thing that my mentors always say. And I'm going to try to implement this as best as I can, really try to push back that mental hump of knowing that I can make good music, but I have to get through the crap sometimes and finish that stuff, because finishing that stuff is going to lead to the good ideas. Because let's be honest, if it was easy to make a hit, everybody would make a hit and everybody would be famous and all the music would sound the same. But that's not the thing. So finish is better than perfect, quantity over quality. That's the big thing for me right now. Also, obviously, stop disappearing years at a time. What the hell did I do that for? I was still involved in music, but I cannot just not work in Ableton anymore. That's not me. I'm changing that starting now, and I'm holding myself accountable. I don't really know in terms of goals what I want to do. Of course, we're getting into the new year where new year, new me goals start happening, and I'm going to start figuring those out for sure. Maybe next video, next week, I'll mention some of those, because I don't think that you should wait till January to start working on your goals. I think if you want it, you should start now. I just want to wrap this up by saying, whether you've been listening since 2019 or earlier, or just finding me now, I really appreciate the support. This is chapter 1 of the rebuild, and I'm excited for you to be a part of it. Like I said, weekly check-ins. I got a present for you, I think, next week as well that I'll talk about. And, let's see where this goes. I'm excited to get back into it. I'm excited to see what ideas, come with it, and excited to bring you along for the ride. If you want to follow the journey a little bit deeper, I got my Instagram, my Spotify, my TikTok in the description, so be sure to follow me there. And, hit subscribe, hit like, and I'll see you next week. I appreciate the time. Much love as always.